Today we're going to start Chapter 8. And unlike the sections that we've done before, instead of just kind of working through Section 8.1 and Section 8.2, I've rearranged the material a little bit. So that way we're going to cover all of Section 8.1 and a little bit of Section 8.2 in kind of this first set of notes, and then we'll focus on some examples in the Section 8.2 notes. So in Chapter 7, we learned about using statistics to make estimations about population parameters and population proportions. Oftentimes, decisions must be made using these estimations. In this chapter, we're going to discuss hypothesis testing, which is a method for making these decisions while controlling the probability of making certain types of mistakes. So in this first section, we're going to look at kind of our hypothesis testing process, and we're going to kind of focus on some different things about each of our different steps that we're going to be looking at. All right? So hypothesis testing. Is a procedure that enables us to choose between two claims when we have variability in our measurements. So unlike our confidence intervals where we were just coming up with estimations, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be comparing two different claims. Right, so our summary of our procedure that we're going to go through. First, we're going to write a null and alternative hypothesis for a test involving a population proportion. Then we're going to compute and interpret a test statistic and a p-value. So as far as our procedure goes, we have a formal four-step procedure. Our first step is to hypothesize. We're going to state a hypothesis or claim that will be weighed against a neutral or skeptical claim. We're going to make preparations, determine how we're going to use our data to make our decision, and make sure we have enough data to minimize the probability of making mistakes, so we can kind of relate this back to our conditions that we've been looking at in the previous chapter. Compute to compare, collect data and compare them to your expectation, and then our final and possibly most important step, state our conclusion, make an interpretation. Do we believe the claim, or do we find the claim doesn't have enough evidence to back it up? So that's what we're going to be going through and talking about in this section. Again, we're going to start by just kind of taking a closer look at each of our different steps that we have here.